morning. I arrived back home yesterday from Canada, and I'm trying to get back in somewhat of a routine. For the whole month of August, it may seem like I was on vacation for the whole month because we went to the mountains for 2 weeks, and then I went to Canada for almost 2 weeks. So yeah, I was out and about, but I still got some work done. I did a few tech edits and I worked on my own patterns. But I'm really looking forward to get back into a regular routine at home. And today I thought I would start by sharing what I'll be up to. I kind of have to reorganize myself. While I was away, my husband painted my desk. It's a desk that we made ourselves, like a wall panel that was in our apartment. When we moved in and we removed that wall, we built a desk. And basically we tried to paint it before, but we didn't use the correct type of paint, so it was getting really dirty. So he painted that again for me with a better paint. So I need to reorganize my desk situation. I don't have any tech edits to do this week. So my plan for this morning is to start swatching because I have one garment design on the go, which is my brown dress, and I'll show you the progress of that after. I made a lot of progress. I'm now on the skirt portion and I'm really excited. I love where it's going, but it's going to be a beast to grade because it doesn't look that complicated, but there's a lot of little details that I need to take into account, and the fact that I think I'm gonna have to include how to modify the waist shaping and the hip shaping. So there's a lot of things to think about, and I feel like I'm not quite ready to tackle that in my design journey. So I may finish the dress this year and write a pattern for it maybe during the summer so that we can have a super long test knit, and then it would be ready for the fall next year. So let's see. But with all that being said, then I didn't know what would be my next garment design. I have one that I think I've shown before on my podcasts or in vlogs. It's okay, we're back. It's a mohair blouse, so I think it would be really nice for the spring. So I do intend to write up this pattern and release it for the spring, but it does mean also that for the winter, if I don't release the brown dress and I don't have anything planned garment-wise, and I would like to knit a sweater, publish a sweater pattern. So yeah, I think it took me a long time and a lot of tangents to arrive to what we are doing today, which is to swatch for many things. So the first thing is that sweater design that I would like to swatch for. I've had that sweater design idea in my mind for a long time. I've talked about it before. It would be like a compound raglan, and at first I thought of using the Plateau Socks chart for the sleeve, but I don't know, I think I wasn't super in love with my swatches, and so I wasn't really moving forward with that design. And it's also a compound raglan, so I think it's going to be tricky to grade, but not as tricky as the brown dress. Anywho, so I want to start swatching for that. I got another idea which is similar, so it's the same construction, but it wouldn't have the cuff detail, or it would have a different cuff detail. I'll show you once I swatch if it looks nice. So that is swatch number 1 that I would like to do, but the yarn for that is arriving today. So maybe I'll start with this one actually. So this, as I was saying, is a mohair blouse. So it's knit with 1 strand of mohair on 4mm needles. So it makes a pretty sheer fabric. Like when I wear this with a tank top under. But it's really nice, I think, for spring. But I would also like to show another sample where it's not so sheer, because I really like the construction. It's a contiguous shoulder construction. So here you have on each shoulder just a little bit of shoulder increases, and then you start to increase for the sleeve, and it's, for my size anyways, it's a straight sleeve, and then you do a few decreases at the bottom here for the cuff, and it hits like about here on my arm. And it's quite cropped, like I like my garments, but you could make it longer. And in this version we have a scalloped neck detail, so it's pretty wide neck, with this scallop detail that is the same essentially as my pointed socks cuff. But I wanted also to give the option, because this one has the scalloped neckline, but at the hem and the cuffs we have an I-cord. So I would like to do the opposite for the second sample. That is going to be, I'm going to show you the yarn in a second, but I'm planning to either just do like a fingering weight yarn for a bit of a sheer effect but not too much, or holding a fingering weight and a mohair together. But yeah, for that second version I would like to do an I-cord collar and then do the little scallop details at the cuffs and hem. So you would have essentially like the option to do both for all the finishings. So there's a lot of options possible. So yeah, I wanted to make a second version of this one. First, to show an example that is not so sheer, and to show an example where we have the scalloped edging at different places on the garment. But also to revisit the pattern, because when I made this I took notes, but I didn't like write a rough pattern draft. So I think that I will do that first, and then as I knit my second version I'll follow my own pattern to make sure that everything is fine before an eventual test knit. So yeah, that's the plan. And recently there was a yarn company that reached out to me, and they wanted to send me some yarn and to do an existing design of mine or a new design. So I thought that would be a really good opportunity to test their yarn and to make a second sample that is less sheer. So the company is, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, it's Ulysse Taylor, I think. I would say Taylor in English, but it's a French brand, and so I'm assuming you pronounce it Ulysse Taylor. But they have, I knew that company as a fabric company. I thought they were mostly a sewing brand, so they have fabric and patterns, if I'm not mistaken. And but yeah, when they reached out to me with their yarn selection, I was like, oh, I didn't know that they had yarn. So I chose this color. This is the terracotta. Terracotta, I guess, if you pronounce it in English. I never know how to pronounce that word. But it's this beautiful, it's kind of like a bricky red, I would say. It's not as orange as, I mean, terracotta is usually like different shades of like red, orangey, even pinks. So I guess there's not like one definition for that color, but yeah, it's more on like the red side, but I really, really like this shade. So yeah, I asked them, because I was talking with the lady that contacted me, saying that I would like to make this blouse, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to make it in a single strand of something like a fingering weight yarn, or if I wanted a fingering and a mohair. So we agreed that they would send me one ball of each so I can swatch and then decide what I want to do. So that's on the plan list, the to-do list for today. I really want to see if I can get the same gauge as I did with one strand of mohair for my blouse on the same needle size, otherwise I'll have to go down, or I just use one strand of fingering weight. So let's see. And then the other things that I would like to swatch for, I might swatch for a new sock design, but I'm not too sure about that one. And then I also want to knit other people's patterns again. I haven't in a while, and it's something that I kind of miss because when I write my own patterns or, knit something for my own designs, it's quite time consuming. Like, you would think that knitting pattern designers knit a lot of the time, and in my experience I have way less knitting time actually, because there's a lot of computer work involved. So I do less knitting now than I used to, and I kind of miss that new cast on feeling where you just like sit on the couch, you grab your pattern, your yarns, and then you just start. Because now my process looks way different. I need to do a lot of swatching before starting a new design, and there's a lot of math involved before I can even cast on. So yeah, I miss that new cast on feeling where I don't have to think, I just follow a pattern. So there are a few that over the last few years that I've saved and I really wanted to knit. And I think I'm gonna, if I have time today, I'll swatch for 2 of those. One is for my husband and one is for me. So the first one that I would like to swatch for is the Finest Kind sweater by Alicia Plummer. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I'll put her name on the screen and with the pattern picture and everything. But yeah, I would like to make that for my husband, and with the intention that I could steal it from him from time to time. And when I saw that sweater, I thought I could make it for him. I thought initially in another color, but then when Knitting for Olive had their fundraiser recently, where they raised a lot of money for, I think it was for UNICEF. But yeah, so I wanted to order something, and I think it was starting at midnight my time, so I didn't want to stay up for that. But then I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, oh, it's the fundraising day. So I went on my phone, and I just like picked something really quickly. I don't know why, because I was half asleep maybe, but I chose the color linen in the heavy merino, and I thought it would be a bit more beige, but it's quite gray, like it's a bit too gray for me. So I ordered a sweater quantity for myself, but for like, I had in mind a very oversized sweater, so I think I'll have enough. I need to check actually the meterage and for that pattern. But yeah, hopefully I'll have enough for him, otherwise I can just order more. Yeah, I think I've said it's the shade linen, and I think it's not like heavy enough of a weight for that pattern. So I found this in Stash, which is, oh, I don't have the ball band. I think it's the brand is Fraya. I bought this when I went to Austria 2 years ago. It's like a lace weight yarn that in the store looked beige, but they're like the same color. It's like a grayish color. So I don't know. I think I'm going to, if it's not enough, and I don't get gauged with just the Knitting for Olive heavy merino, then I'll combine it with this strand. They're basically the same color, so that's the goal. And then for the other one, for the sweater for me, or it's actually a cardigan, is the Sweetgrass cardigan by Tricot Meringue, or Vanessa Tricot Meringue. And I remember the first time that I saw that cardigan, I was like, I must make this. But I think that at the time, either I didn't have budget to buy yarn, or I was starting to design, so I had less knitting time for myself, so I didn't make it. But I think it would look nice in this. So I think it's a DK weight gauge that I need to hit. So I think that with these two, which is the Fraya, I think it's Fraya Mindful, I need to double check. But with 2 of this, which is a lightweight yarn, lace weight yarn, with the drops alpaca silk that I have, I think I should be fine, or even with just one strand of the lace weight and the brushed alpaca silk, it should be fine. And I do think I have swatched with these two before, but I need to swatch now in like the cable pattern. But I do like both of these together. It makes this one look less gray because this one is a bit more beige. So I feel like I talked for way too long, but now I will get to swatching.
Who told you that it was too late? When was it that you started leaning that way? 4 tires cut into the clay. It dries up and now there's just one road to take. It's growing up over with green. So easy to drive on, but not what it seems. The poison is spilling upstream, and it's taking out every living thing. Every living thing. Who told you that you were no good? There's no use in trying, and even if you could, it wouldn't come out like it should. This stubborn kudzu just covers these words.
Alright, I have made 3 swatches so far. I'll show them to you in a bit more details once I blog them. And I also received the yarn for the other swatches, so I will get to that, but first I'll go eat because I am starving. And my plan was to eat a salad, my favorite salad, but because I was craving it when I was in Canada. But I am very hungry, so I might also have some pizza left over from last night.
Back up the drive a bit, could you see what this is? This is a part of it all. Over and over, injustice to injury. This is a part of it all. Could you hike back to it, fight with it, sit with it? This is a part of it all. Ask around, be aware, make peace with what is there. This is a part of it all.
That was very good. It satisfied my craving that I had. I found that because it was my first time going back to Canada actually, since I moved here to Italy, and like my husband has lived in Italy his whole life, and when he moved to Montreal, he was saying that it was like a big shock to his digestive system. And I was like, huh, okay, whatever. Like, I believe you, but it's never happened to me, so I can't relate. Now I can relate. Because spending the last 2.5 years here, I think my digestive system got adapted to the food here. And when I go back now, or when I went back, my stomach was not okay. I think just because the food there is way more processed. I don't know, but yeah, I'm happy to be back and have access to very good food. Alright, so I'm gonna go finish my swatches now, and then after I'll maybe give you a little tour of my studio / working area. It's in an extra bedroom that we have in the apartment, so yeah, let's get to it. this is where I work. I have my desk behind me that I was telling you about earlier. I have my desktop there that you can't see right now. There's yarn here and yarn there and a lot of other stuff. I think I'm gonna try to get just organized enough so that I can work at my computer, and the rest I'll deal with another day. Okay, that was more or less easy. It's warm. Today is September 3rd, I believe. And in my mind, I'm in like back to school fall mode, but it's still very warm here. I'm happy though because I can wear this dress that I just thrifted, or rather that my mom found for me while we were thrifting together in Canada. And it's like, I really like it. I really like the print. It's like a fall print, but it's more of a summer dress. I think though that I'll still be able to wear it during the fall if I wear tights and maybe a nice cardigan over. But yeah, I did a lot of thrifting actually when I was in Canada. I don't know if it's something that you're interested in seeing. I might share a bit about that in this vlog or in a next one. Yeah, let's see. So yeah, now I'm all set up here with my computer situation. Now I guess I'll go and blog all the swatches that I did today, and I'll talk about those tomorrow. Right, my swatches are dry. It's the next morning, and I actually did not sleep well last night because I could not stop thinking about these swatches. So let's go through it. I guess I'll start with the easiest one, which is the one that I like the most, which is this one. This is the Ulysse Taylor yarn. So this is both of them held together. So I have a merino silk and a mohair silk held together. And the reason why I chose the merino silk instead of just the merino is because I wanted to hold this one single-stranded initially, but I'm glad that I also asked for the mohair because I tried it and like alone and the fabric was way too slinky. So this with the mohair I think is best. And I tried also the little scalloped edge so that it would be like at the bottom of the cuff and hem. I don't know if I like it. I might just make this version again with the collar scalloped and the hem and cuffs with just an I-cord to keep it simple. But I love this color and I really like how the swatch feels. It's very nice. So that one was easy. Then I'll go in the order that I made them. Then I made my finest kind swatch. And I think the knitting for olive alone is, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see on camera, but this is alone and then this is with the other lace weight yarn. I like it better with the other strand of yarn. But I'm not sure if this color really speaks to me, honestly. I might have to sleep a little bit in my stash and we'll see later. I have a nice brown that I could use for this, so I might have to re-swatch with another yarn. Let's see. Then we have the Sweetgrass cardigan swatch, and I love it. I mean, I love the stitch pattern and I really liked working it. Like, it's very engaging, it's really fun to work. I don't know if I like this yarn. I mean, I like it, but it's nothing too special. Like, in my stash I have a lot of, you know, beige and very neutral colors. And I feel like I want some more of a pop of color, but I don't know. I may just cast this one on regardless. Let's see. And then the last two swatches are made with the yarn that I was expecting yesterday that got delivered. So I ordered a sweater quantity of Sandnes Garn Pure Gynt. The color, I don't remember, but I'll write it in the description box. It's like a beige again. I'm very boring. But yeah, so this is what I had in mind. I made an initial swatch with like many different types of little flowers like this and different types of ribbing. This is the one that I liked the most, so I re-swatched and made like 3 little flowers. And I wasn't convinced, but I made 2 swatches. So one on 4mm needles and this one on 4, this one on 4.5. And I think the one on 4, so the smaller gauge, I like better. But I don't know if we can really tell that these are little flowers. Like, my idea was to have like a chain of small flowers just before the ribbing. I do like how the lace pattern like flows into the ribbing. I don't know if you can really tell there, but like the ribbing is not like, it doesn't start with knit one, purl one right away. It's like kind of scalloped a little bit to follow the little lace flowers. But here's my dilemma, and here's why I lost sleep last night. When I saw this on my blocking mat, that is not an actual blocking mat, it's like an exercise mat. But when I saw this, I really liked it, but I couldn't help but think that it would be way better in like a yellow, like a mustardy yellow color. So now, I mean, I've been looking online everywhere for yarn that I could use for that, and I found a few options. I may go ahead and order, because I mean, I ordered the sweater quantities of this. I'll use it eventually for something else if it's not for this design. So yeah, I may go ahead and order a yellow sweater quantity, but I'm still thinking about it. We'll see. And also, I'm not like 100% convinced about the stitch pattern. Like I said, like I don't know if you can really tell that they're little flowers. So I might also revisit this before ordering new yarn to make sure that we're moving forward with that. And I also forgot yesterday to show you my brown dress, so I'll go change into that to show you what it looks like now. So I don't know if you can see well, but basically I'm almost at the point where I am done increasing for the hips. And I want it to be a bit flared, so I think I will continue the increases a bit past the hips. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, maybe I should just focus on this pattern instead of the other one. I don't know anymore. Story of my life, I can't make decisions. That's it, that's all I wanted to show you.
Open air, side by side we sway there in all the colors. Summer love, lonesome dove, folded on the lawn chair in all the colors. Summer love, remember could really use some stuff like that. Talk to me and tell me all that you've seen, all the colors, summer love. Memories washed in every shade of green and all the colors, summer love. Remember the lazy river day canoe, bathing in the turquoise blue, losing track of time with you. Another beach pie sunset view, sleeping in the afternoon. No place to be and nothing to prove. That's sure something I could use. A cure for the air-conditioned blues. Could use some too. A little bit of summer love.
Hello. I think the last time I spoke to you was last week, 1 week ago. Today is Friday. This week was quite gloomy, but the sun is finally shining now, and maybe it has to do with the color of my whip. Do you see this? It's beautiful. I'm so excited about this one. I guess you've already seen that I did go ahead and order the yellow yarn that I was talking about. This is the Rerum Natura Gilia. No, it's the Ulysse and the Bérénice. So the Ulysse is like the thinner version of the Gilliatt or Gilliatt. I actually don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, it's like a woolen spun yarn. It's very airy. I love woolen spun yarns, but I think that sometimes they can peel a lot easier than a worsted spun yarn. So I like to pair them with a mohair when I'm using them. And so I decided to pair it with Bérénice. So this is the new Rerum Natura silk and mohair. Oh, and it has wool inside. I didn't notice before ordering it. Yeah, I think you can feel a little bit the prickle, but it's not so bad. It's very soft, in my opinion. So yeah, I decided to pair these together, and I was actually hesitating because on their website versus when you check on like people's Ravelry stashes and projects, there's two colorways that look kind of similar. So this is the Genêt in both of the qualities. I got the same color, but the other one that looks a bit similar in some people's pictures online is the Doré, so golden. So I wanted like a mustardy yellow that wasn't too dark. So I went with the Genêt because it has like a bit of green inside that I really like. So it's a bit like chartreusey. Versus the golden, I think is more golden. There's no green inside. So, but yeah, I was still scared to see it in person, but I really love it. It's not usually a color that I go for. It's a bit like bright for me, but I'm very happy with it. And yeah, so now it's Friday. I received this yarn, I think Tuesday, and I have been swatching with it quite a lot. So the last time that I talked to you about this swatch, it was still in the pure Gynt, and I wasn't loving the little flower that I made. And then I ended up swatching with this yarn, a different type of flower with a different type of ribbing, and I liked it. I'll put a little b-roll. It was like little flowers, and then it flowed into some, I think it was like a knit through the back loop and pearl too. So it looked like the flowers had little stems, and I thought it was cute. I still saved the chart. I think I might make socks with that chart actually. But when I flipped the fabric and I saw the knit 2 pearl 1 ribbing instead, I really liked it. And on the wrong side, my little lace flowers had some, like you had the pearl bumps instead of a knit stitch just after the yarn overs, and I really liked the texture that it gave. So I basically ripped back up until before the flowers, remade the flowers, but with like not quite exactly reverse chart, but with more pearl stitches essentially, and modified the ribbing. So now it looks like this, and I'm so happy. So I think you can tell now a bit more than before that these are little flowers, and then the ribbing flows out of them. So I am very pleased with this. I think that in the actual garment, the ribbing will be a bit longer, but to be determined. So yeah, I did this early this week, and yesterday I graded for my size. So I wrote like a rough pattern for my size, and last night I cast on. So I'm actually in the middle of a row. But essentially I'm working a European drop shoulder, and oh crap, I just realized that I dropped like one strand of the silk mohair is not inside, so I'll go ahead and fix that. I'll come back to you soon. Alright, I have fixed my little mistake and made it to the end of my row so I can show you. Or I don't know if I'll be able to show you because it's obviously not blocked, so it's rolling. But I'm making a European drop shoulder. So it's going to be like a pretty simple pullover. I'm planning to do also 2x1 ribbing at the neck to match the hem and the cuffs, but there won't be any lace at the neck. And yeah, pretty oversized fit. I want like a pretty wide sleeve, and that's all I have to report for now. It's going well so far, but anything could happen. Let's see. But yeah, I'm very excited for this one, and I have actually kind of neglected my other projects. I have them here, I'll grab them for you to show. So the first thing that I have neglected is this slipover. The pattern has been tech edited for weeks now, and I still haven't opened the file to check the edits. My tech editor said that it's really good, there's not a lot to change. But yeah, I don't know, at this moment, I don't feel excited about this one, and I also was struggling to find something to wear with it for pattern pictures, which is so silly, but yeah, I don't know, I'm having like kind of like a blockage there. I think once I find something that I really like to wear with it, that looks, because I have things that I can wear with it, like it goes with a lot of things in my wardrobe, but I think that for pattern pictures, like it needs to be like a certain contrast to like really show off the slipover and etc, etc. I am very picky, I guess, with these things, but yeah, I really need to get on with this. The only thing left to do before the test knit is to like film a bit of an intro for the tutorial that's going to go along with this pattern, and then call for test knitters. So yeah, I really need to go and do that. Let's see, probably next week I will get this done. And then the other whip that I am neglecting, that is actually a whip, is my brown dress. Actually, I don't know, I've worked on it quite a lot, but it feels like it's not growing. I am here now, and I was looking at it like that, and I was thinking, oh, I'm almost done, the skirt portion. But then I tried it on, and I realized that I still have like a good at least 20 centimeters to work for it to be like the length that I am envisioning. So yeah, but it's very nice now because I'm not doing increases anymore. I am just working in the round while making my little textured stitches like that. But yeah, let's see when I get this done. And then what else? I think that's it for now. I have plans to cast on potentially a sock next week also. And I would like to cast on at least one pattern that is not mine next week. So I hope that you have enjoyed this vlog. I will stop it now just because I think it's already quite long, but I hope that you enjoy this format. I really like to make this type of video. It feels kind of like a knitting podcast, but where you see a bit of other stuff that I'm doing. Yeah, let me know if you enjoy this, or if you prefer like only a knitting podcast, or something that is more like a real vlog where I don't speak for so long. Yeah, let me know. And yeah, I hope you got a lot of knitting done while watching this. Feel free to comment below what you were working on. I really like to hear about what you were doing while listening. And yeah, I will see you next time with hopefully a bit of progress on the new sweater and the dress, hopefully a new sock, and my plan for next week is to gather the courage to start making my sourdough starter. My sister gave me some dehydrated starter of hers. So yeah, if you want to follow on that little adventure, that's what I'll be up to next time. Until then, I hope you're doing well, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.